Is your parent toxic? Yikes. My name is Grace Bukachi, and you're watching CITAM ChurchOnline. I was in a situation recently with some young people, and they told me how toxic their parents are. They don't want to be forced to go to church. They can make up their mind on their own. And I listened, and I said, thank you for sharing your ideas with me. And I was in another situation with parents without their children, without their young adults, without their Gen Zers. And they said, why are we being called toxic? I am not here to answer why you're being called toxic. I am here to address the fact that if your child learns values from the internet first and hears particular words, they will shape how their identity, their character, and how they view you. So I had to ask a few Gen Zers, what do you mean by toxic? Then I was told that perhaps the way we were raised, the values our parents used to raise us, we had no option, we had to follow. So this generation Z and generation Alpha, and now we have generation Beta, those ones are not able to talk yet. One of the things I continually find I am working with them is the why. Why should I do this? Is it a must? Or please, can you give me space? My social battery is down. And I'm like, I could never. Okay, so I have to think without thinking about how I was raised. I couldn't ask questions. If it was Sunday, we would go to church. And I know some of you parents are caught in between that space of parenting and sometimes, let's talk about it, let's be real, wanting to please your colleagues and your ministry worker friends because all of you came to church as a family. Let's be real here. And when children don't come, or perhaps other members of your family don't come, then you almost feel like kuna issues. Let's go back to the detail of values. When you're raising that child, think of the verse Galatians 5:22 and 23, love, joy, peace. Joy is an intentional value. Love, patience, kindness, teaching that child to be kind to you. Those practical virtues that you choose yourself, you are intentionally making time to listen and to say, okay, I want to understand this. So you practicing patience as well, rather than easily snapping, and you taking time away from the gadgets to listen to this child and to listen to this young adult. It is a very fine line. I do not have an answer. All I know is that if you continuously share the space of loving that child, even though you've been labeled toxic, because we also label people, we say they are, what's that word that they use a lot? Entitled. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You know, we are guilty too. So it's both ways. So I'm encouraging us to not give up, going into their spaces, but don't go when their social battery is low or your battery, whatever. They are in your space. You're in each other's space. Let's put it that way. And how do we then accommodate? How do we let our faith, our love for God, our love for Jesus, who was called names, including not nice ones I don't want to use now, but the name calling has been there. This is more than, this needs more discussion, perhaps a podcast later. But for now, if your child calls you toxic, please don't hit the roof. Find out why you've been called toxic. And if you feel they're entitled, I work with some young people, and one of them told me, you're very entitled also as parents. I was like, really? Okay. So we're both trying to navigate these waters together in our faith in Jesus. So God bless you. We'll hear from you. Please talk to me. Tell me why you think your parent or your relative or your guardian is toxic, or your child. Please don't call your child toxic. Your words matter. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. God bless you. See you next time on CITAM Church Online.